Ding dong, I hope everyone is doing great. In the last video, I received comment from my sister and she was saying, Zishan, stop making gaming content. You can speak about other topics, go make videos on that. So there is a good news and a bad news. The good news for the people who don't want to watch gaming content, such as like my sister, this is the last part of the series which I started where I was sharing 3 games that changed my life. And the bad news for gamers, you're not gonna hear about games for some videos because I'm gonna make videos about other topics, but I promise those videos will be good and they will be worth your time. So in the last part of the series, trust me, this is a really worth watching episode or part, because in this video we are gonna explore the very deep psychological human behaviors, and that game was amazing. I don't know if I said that in the last video or not, but whatever the reason, without wasting any more time, my name is Ishan Ali and you are on Diary of a Brown Boy. Let's move to our third game, and the options for the third game are number 1, Red Dead Redemption 2, number 2, Spec Ops The Line, number 3, Shadow of Colossus. So don't forget to go to the comment section and guess which game it will be. And the game is Spec Ops The Line. I know Red Dead Redemption 2 is a great game, Shadow of the Colossus is a great game. From the reviews, I'm sure these games are really amazing, but I haven't played those games because, as I told you, we gamers, we never have enough time or the money to play all the games. So I don't have PS4 or even PS3, and I just can't afford Red Dead Redemption 2 for now. But talking about Spec Ops 2, it is one of the best games and taught me the best lessons about the psychology of a human, and really interesting lessons which I will tell you later on. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the game. So it's very simple. It's a third-person shooter game, just like soldiers. And yeah, now let's talk a little bit about the story. What happens in the story is that Dubai is messed up in the sand, and there are some terrorists who are killing some human, and you from a USA, or I don't know, like it was UK or USA, you basically go to Dubai in order to free those people from the terrorists. And what happens along the way is that you come with basically 2 of your friends, and what happens along your way is that there was a point where you think that you're going to face a big army of terrorists, and you decide to like launch biological weapons on them or biological bomb on them, and you just do it. And when it happens and you jump down and you see that these were not actually the terrorists, these were the normal civilians, and boom. So this is the story, and this is also the best moment. So the representation after you throw the bombs was really amazing. You can actually feel how horrible it will be, or how horrible it is to use biological weapons.
Oh no.
Are those civilians?
Where'd they come from? There's no camp here.
They took him from the nest.
That hotel back at the storm wall? No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
So that was the best moment, and that is a part of the story. And what happens at the end of the game, so after that, you basically the person, like the main soldier, thinks that he was tricked into doing this by the leader of the terrorist, and now what you need to do is that you need to go there and kill them because he made you do this and he is responsible for that. So then you just keep on fighting, killing people along the way, and then you finally get to the building. I think it was a Burj Khalifa where you think the leader of the terrorist will be, and you go there, and then you see that the leader of the terrorist is already dead. And I know you will be like, what the heck, if you haven't played that game, because I was like that. What the game was trying to tell you in this is the lesson which I learned, and that And that lesson is very psychological. So what happens with the person is that when he see that he made a very bad decision, even with a good intention, he just could not accept or face or acknowledge that he killed many people, and he just didn't want it to face it. So in order to justify it, he just becomes blind of everything, and he just thinks that it's not me who did it, it was not my decision, it was someone, the leader of the terrorist, who made me like do it. And then you just do it. So okay, so I'm recording this part again where I'm gonna explain to you the lessons I learned from the game. The reason behind that is that I want to make sure that what I'm saying to the people is comprehensible. I realized during the process of editing that I was not speaking well, and I was just trying to rush to end the video. So in this video, I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna make sure that what I'm saying will be comprehensible for most of the viewers that will watch this video. So let's talk about the lessons from the Spec Ops The Line. The first lesson we can learn from the Spec Ops The Line is that good intentions are not enough. And what I mean by here is that sometimes in our life we have good intentions, and based on those good intentions we take some decisions and we end up doing bad instead of good. Just like in the game, the main protagonist has a good intention that he is going to save the people by killing the terrorist using biological weapons, but he did not analyze the situation enough. He did not thought about it enough. He did not calculated the situation enough to realize that maybe the people he sees are not the terrorists, are actually the civilians. So without putting enough effort, enough time in making sure that what he is doing, he just rushed into taking the decision and he take the wrong decision. And what happens? He kills many people. So just like that in our life, a lot of time we have good intentions to do good, but we don't think about our decisions enough, and we end up doing bad with the people. And one very good example and a small example is charity. I'm not gonna go into the detail, but I will tell you one thing. If you're going to provide the food to a person, he is never gonna push himself to provide the food on his own for himself. So that is why a lot of people in Africa, they don't push themselves enough, or in poor countries, because they just get the food, the basic need. In order to push the humans, you need to make them learn skills and understand. So this is like the intention is good, but we do not thought about the consequences of all that. And many researchers, or some researchers at least, prove that charity may be on the on the point, it can provide some food and it can satisfy some hunger, but in the long term that charity actually does more bad than good. Now I'm not talking about all charities, but I just wanted to give you one example. So now let's move to the lesson number 2, and that is twisting your reality. So there is a concept in psychology, I don't remember the theory or the exact name, but that theory goes something like that. When you lose something, or when you're faced with a hard or tough situation which hurts you, you have 5 stages. The first stage that you have is denial, that you deny that it just didn't happen. Just like in the game, the protagonist denies that he was responsible for it, and he put the blame onto the leader who was already dead. So that's the first stage we have. The second stage we have after denial, anger. And the third stage is bargain, that we try when we lose something. So after denial, and when we accept that okay, something bad happened, then we become angry why it happened, and then we try to make ourselves fine by saying that it was not really bad, it's just fine. And then we go into the depression, and after the depression the stage of acceptance comes. What happens in a lot of cases, now this is my theory, I am not a researcher, I am not a psychologist, I am not expert in anything, it is just what I observed. I observed that when the loss is so big, most of the people deny it to the point that they twist their own realities, which means that most of the people don't go through the stage of denial, because when an accident happens or when someone dies, people around us assure to us that that person is dead, and period. We have friends and all that, but when we are alone and when the loss is a little bit complicated, then we deny it. And sometimes we deny that thing to the point that we just change the reality and we make our own reality. Just like the main protagonist, he makes his own reality, that the leader of the terrorist is still alive and he did this, or he made us, or he forced us into doing this. So this is what happens in most of the time. And in order to give you an example of in our daily life, when we deny, we don't like, I don't know like how to give you a really good example, because it is a big thing. And as I explained to you that like denial is not something that happens easily or people can see it, but a lot of time you will see that some people, when they lose something and when they does not accept something and it just happens, we deny like it cannot happen. How it happened, we are in a shock state. But some people actually twist the reality of their own life. And to tell you that what lessons it can tell us about our real life is twisting the reality. And there is one thing that happens a lot of time in relationships. What happens is that we have a good intention, and based on our good intention we take some actions, and those actions are proven to be wrong. Not proven, but they had negative consequences onto the people you love. So what we do is that we deny the fact that our actions were not well calculated. We start fighting with the person that it is your mistake, you are not good enough, you are not like that enough. And what we are doing in that very time is that we are denying the reality. This is how we deny reality on our daily life on many different subjects. And the lesson number 3 that we can learn from this game is humans are not inherently good, which means that if humans are faced with bad situations or bad environment, they are capable of doing the worst things that you can ever imagine. Just like the protagonist in the game, he was in a bad situation, he does the bad thing, and what he does in return is more bad. So if humans are faced with harsh situations or hard survival, then they will do really bad with you or with anyone. So humans are not inherently good. And the lesson number 4 that you learn is that it is not a person that becomes bad, or it is not a person who chooses to become bad. It is a situation that makes us bad. Every person has a backstory why they became bad. Just like in this game, there is a story which is extremely complicated, and you can blame, and it is hard to blame the person because intention was good. Every time you see a person that is bad, understand that they have a story, and that they have a story that either they have been in a situation where it forced them or where it became easy for them to be bad. For example, just to take an example of a crime, why there is a lot of crime in Pakistan? It is because it is easy to earn money through crimes than through legal system. That is why a lot of people become criminals and all that. So the lesson number 4 is it is the environment most of the time that makes human bad. Obviously there are human who, like especially the white collar people, that and the one that are the real problem in the world, who are sitting in big rooms and they have a lot of money, which does a lot of crime. But I'm talking about other side. But don't forget that there are people who are bad and they will always do bad even in the best situation. We cannot know. So in the end of the video, I will tell you the lessons we learned so far. The first lesson that we learned is that only good intentions are not enough. We twist our realities. Lesson number 3, humans are not inherently good. And lesson number 4, humans become bad because our system and environment makes it easy for them to become bad. So I hope you like this video and I hope you learned some lessons from this video. I will see you in the next video, and the next video is not going to be about gaming. So subscribe to this channel, like, and you can follow me on Facebook, TikTok, anywhere. I will put the links into the description. So we will see you in the next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz, bye bye, take care.